This is going to be my last game with me playing Durant. I pretty much built Durant because it is the only other deck that I have an online collection that will fit this deck. I just don't have enough online cards to build any of the other main decks. So based on my viewers wanting to see me play something other than Zekeels, this was my only other top tier deck option. And right now I'm just playing top tier decks to try and show everyone what to be prepared for when they go to regionals this weekend. So here we go with well, almost close to God Start with Durant. I'm just lacking an energy. So get an Eviolite, attach that, collector, see my 3 Durants all ready to go, and I pass. But I do have a pretty good hand with that Pont to be able to get into a metal energy next turn, so I'm not really worried about it. This user, Dragon1973, I know I've played before. I just can't remember if I actually played him, if he was my other Durant matchup, that was just a couple days ago, or if it was when I was playing Zekeels and we had a mirror match. Don't remember, but either way, I recognize his username, so pretty sure we played before. So he uses Engineer's Adjustments to discard an energy to draw 4, and gets a Thunderous, attaches an energy, and then charges to get 1 more energy on there. I'm going to go ahead and play my Sky Arrow while I can, and Pont for a new hand. Sky Arrow is great in case he tries to catcher up Durant that have no energy on them in an effort to, or attempt to stall. So I get a special medal, gonna go ahead and attach that with the Eviolite Durant to make things a little more difficult for him. And then I'm gonna devour for 4. Now you'll notice that in my hand I have another Eviolite. I would love to attach that. However, there is an Eviolite glitch, and if there's 2 Eviolite in play, it will screw up the damage on your active Pokemon with an Eviolite. I've seen it range anywhere from it heals damage afterwards, but lets the attack go through. So if it were knocked out when it shouldn't have been, it still gets knocked out. Or the most common one is the Eviolite just stacks. And so if I replayed that Eviolite, my damage would be reduced by 40 rather than just 20, and that's just not fair. That's not how Eviolite works. So while I would, in a normal game, I would play that Eviolite, in this game, I'm not going to, because that's going to give me a huge advantage over my opponent. It's going to lessen the chances of them being able to one-shot me, and that's just not, like I said, that's not fair. I don't take advantage of glitches like I hear some people do, and it's really not that big a deal for me to not attach that Eviolite right now. So he is unable to get another energy and has to get 1 more on there with charge. So I'm going to go ahead and attach a special medal and go ahead and Pont for a new hand. Hopefully be able just to get some more energy to be able to use later on in the game. Or what I'm really hoping for is a Crushing Hammer to be able to take off some of that energy on the Thunderous, or a Pokemon Catcher to bring up that Electric to stall for quite a while. Hoping to get either one of those, but unfortunately I didn't get it with the Pont, and so I'm going to Devour for 4. So here he's going to play a Collector, and we'll see what he goes for. He should be getting a Zekrom. That's your best attacker in this matchup is Zekrom, and if he runs it, a Shaman to move all that energy to the Zekrom, but he may not run that. So it doesn't look like he runs a Shaman, or if he does, it's prized. I'm talking about the Celebration Winds Shaman, obviously, not the EX Shaman. So he Dynamotors 1 on with Zekrom. He's going to catcher up my Durant with just a regular metal. That way he can knock me out in 1 hit rather than 2 with Thunderous. And is going to Junk Arm for the Lost Remover. So an excellent play by him, because he's going to use that Lost Remover to take the special metal energy off of my bench Durant. And when he knocks out my active Durant, that's going to leave me a field of no Durants. So he's hoping that I don't have any energy in my hand to be able to recover. Obviously, you see that I do, but it's still an excellent play, and, you know, long term in the game could possibly slow me down by just taking out more metal energy. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that energy for the turn. I'm going to Super Rod to get that, sorry, Super Rod automatically worked. At first I thought it wasn't going to work, but Super Rod put that regular metal energy and that Durant back in my deck. And while I hate to Juniper all those junk arms, I really need that card right there, a dual ball, to get out my Durant so I can continue to devour for 4. So go ahead and play that. That also gave me another Eviolite that I'm basically, like I said, avoiding attaching more than one Eviolite at one turn so that I don't take advantage of the glitch. But it's always good to have it in my hand, so if he does knock out that active Durant with a Zekrom, I can reattach it later. So he's going to junk arm. And I'm feeling pretty good at this point about this match because he's only taken 1 prize and I've been able to get a pretty consistent lead already. Obviously not in prizes, but on the amount of cards left in his deck. So he's going to junk arm for a level ball, and then level balls. Did I miss what he showed me? I must have missed it. Or perhaps, actually, I think what he did was he failed it. I think he was trying to get out another electric. However, I just discarded one with a Devour, and so his 3rd must be prized, unless both of us missed it in another Devour. I didn't realize this while playing the game, so I actually don't check his discard pile to see, but that's what I'm thinking that he was going for, was to hopefully power up that Zekrom, but it didn't work. So he's going to be forced just to Outrage, which with the Eviolite it would do nothing but either has played a plus power or he's going to play a plus power. There it is. There's the plus power. So it does 10 damage to me, which doesn't seem like much, but that does set me up for a knockout with Thunderous next turn. So, which really is his only option right now. And is his only main attacker unless he can get another energy onto that Zekrom. So I'm going to go ahead and attach a metal to the bench Durant, and I'm going to hold on to my hand because I have that Super Rod to put a Durant back in the deck and the Collector to dig it out. So I really like that hand, as well as the Eviolite in the metal to keep things going. So I want to keep that hand. So he plays a switch. So this is the part of the game that actually surprises me. What he should be doing is switching back to the bench, using Dynamotor to fully power up Zekrom, then retreat back and then bring up the Zekrom ready to go. But instead he decides to toss him out, Dynamotor 1 back on, and then just take it out with Thunderous instead. While I see kind of why he did that, he's still, that means his Zekrom isn't going to be powered up next turn to ensure a knockout. And as you can see right here is, unless he has the catcher to ensure a knockout, that's just, it's a risky play. I think the Zekrom would have been a safer play, but again, I can't see his hand, so I don't know. So now that he's knocked out one Eviolite Durant, I feel safe in attaching another Eviolite. That way I'm not taking unfair advantage of the glitch. Going to Super Rod that Durant and the Metal Energy back into my deck, and then dig out that Durant again with Pokemon Collector, so I can ensure that I keep on devouring for 4. Gonna go ahead and bench it, and check he's only got 12 cards left in his deck, so I'm feeling really good right now because he still has to take 4 prizes. So there I devour for a full 4, bringing him pretty low. And my hand is in a great position. I have the metal to attach, have a Durant on the bench with the Metal Energy, have a Juniper in hand, lots of great stuff. So he's going to Super Rod some stuff back into his deck to make sure that he can keep on going. Because if he can just knock out Durant and prevent me from reviving them, or just like what I've been doing is Super Rod Collector, because I can't seem to draw into my revives. Probably because I only run, I think, 2. I think that's all I have in my online collection is 2 revives. So, that's why I have to run a heavier Super Rod line. But it's been working out for me so far. And, as you can see, he's got 8 cards in his deck right now, after that Super Rod. So he's definitely not looking like he's in a bad position, but still not a great position. So he, retreats back, Dynamotors onto the Thunderous to keep it going, then switches back to the Thunderous, and is going to catch up a empty Durant to be able to knock it out. Which then he actually takes that back and then realizes he can attack the special metal Durant, taking out a metal energy that I cannot recover, so better play. Of course, had that been in tournament, he would not be allowed to take that back, but in just a fun game, the online server doesn't make any stipulations as far as taking back moves like that. So, knocks it out. He's down to 3 prizes. He's got, I think, still 8 cards in his deck. I promote my Durant with the Eviolite and the metal, attach a metal onto the bench Durant, and I finally pull a twins. That was actually kind of surprising that I do run 4 twins, and that I hadn't drawn into one. So I'm definitely going for the revive to be able to get that 4th Durant out. And I'm going to also go for the catcher. And that's because, I don't know if he has a DCE or a switch in hand, but he's already played at least one switch, and I've seen some DCE get tossed out. So the chances of him being able to get that eel back on the bench in one turn are pretty low. So pretty good in my favor. Play the revive to get the 4th Durant out, and then devour for 4. There goes a DCE and a switch. So unless he has it in hand, he's likely not going to draw into it. 5 cards left in the deck. Looking still pretty good on my end. My hand is little, but that Juniper is really all I need. And I think, was that an attempt to play a Junk Arm, but then he took it back? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think that was an attempt at a Junk Arm, but he decided against it. Luckily, though, he does have that Junk Arm in hand to be able to get that switch out because he needs to consistently take knockouts. With only 3 prizes left and 5 cards left in his deck, he's really got to scramble. I'm not quite sure if he can pull it out right now. So he's going to catcher up. Probably, I think the Durant on my bench just has a regular metal, so he'll probably go for that one. Actually, though, it looks like he took the catcher back too. So, there's lots of face-down cards on the field. So there we have a Junk Arm. It looks like he tossed the catcher and a Max Potion to get the level ball back. So, interesting play, which must mean that he has a DCE or a switch in hand. So there's the level ball. He did super rod that electric back in, or unless he drew it on his prizes. I don't remember what he super rodded back in. So he does have the electric though. So 2 eels in play, Zekeels on the bench with only 1 energy. He's in good position. Yep, there we go. Attach 2 energy. Well, actually, looks like there's only 1 right now, but the second Dynamotor should be coming up. Yep, there it is. And there is the switch in hand. So excellent that he had that. And he will be able to bull strike me for 120, which after Eviolite just does 100, but still more than enough to knock me out. And he's down to 2 prizes with 5 cards left in his deck, I believe. So here's where I just have a completely dumb moment. I poke a gear in hopes of getting a twins to be able to get the revives and stuff out of the deck. But for some reason, when I see the top 7 cards in my deck, I don't know what I think I'm doing. It's very late. I just got off of work. So I, for some reason, think that that's the rest of my deck. And, yeah, so I poke a gear for the twins, but then I don't play it to conserve cards in my deck. I don't know why. I just don't check my deck. But, yeah, that would have been a huge misplay in a tournament. However, if it would have been in a tournament, I obviously would have noticed what my deck was like. But it doesn't really matter because with 5 cards left in his deck, a Devour, or 4 cards, I think it was, a Devour for 3, and then him drawing his card for the turn. And here's where I noticed that I do have 24 cards left in my deck. I don't know what I was thinking. But, so I could have gotten the twins and gotten the revive and gotten that 4th Durant out, and that would have been the game right there. But, had a brain moment and didn't do it, so drags the game out a little bit longer. But yeah, so he ends me down, brings my hand up to 6, and he loses next turn. He's not no way of coming back. So I'm just kind of playing my turn out just for fun, just to see if I could have gotten stuff out, or could have gotten double Durant out. But he decides he doesn't even want to wait. So he just concedes, and yeah, that's the end of the game. So again, that's the last game I'll be playing with Durant. I just don't like the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a change in decks, but going back to Zekeels until I can get more code cards, I guess, to and really feel the desire, I guess, to build something else online to be able to invest the code cards in. But that's pretty much all I'm really looking at. So, again, thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed, even though it's a deck that's very hated.